Hey guys and girls, this is Alish from gainmedialab.com. Welcome to my exciting world of live audio mixing. In today's episode, we talk about how to cleverly use effects to get an even bigger sounding drum when you're using parallel compression on drums. But before we do any of that, make sure that you subscribe to this channel so you don't miss out on any of the content that I post every Monday. With all that said and done, let's just start the show. I got a question from one of my students a couple of weeks ago about how I use parallel drum compression and where do I route my effects when doing that. Now I have to admit I don't usually do parallel compression on drums only for specific cases, but when I do decide to do that, I have a specific trick that helps me get an even bigger sounding drum, and I wanted to show it to you in this video. So let's just go behind the console and into the computer so I can show you what I do. Okay, so let's quickly run through the setup here. I have a set of drum channels on my console, kick in, kick out, snare top, snare bottom, hi-hat, 3 toms, and 2 overheads, and they are running to these 2 groups. So the drums is the uncompressed bus, and the spank is going to be the parallel compression with heavy compression added to that particular bus so we can blend it in later. What you also see here are 2 stereo return channels for 2 different effects. So this drum verb is applied to all the drum channels and is returning into this drums bus, while the spank reverb is another reverb that we will be using to expand the width of the drums when adding parallel compression, and this one is returning into the spank bus. Let's have a listen to the drums on its own. So we will just be listening to the drums bus, this one over here. I can also mute both reverbs so that you guys can hear what these sound on their own without any reverb added. So let's just do this. So these drums sound really, really great on their own. They were played by an amazing drummer, a friend of mine and my neighbor, Yura Dolis, who also plays with the band San Diego. And they're tuned well, and we have recorded them for special projects a couple of weeks ago. As we start adding, parallel compression to these drums, you will hear how we can add attack and more punch to their entire sound. But first of all, I just wanted to add a bit of space to this entire drum kit, and I'll do that by adding in a reverb to this particular uncompressed drum bus. So then we start talking about parallel compression, and we start adding in this particular spank drum bus. So this is now the dry bus, the uncompressed bus together with the reverb and adding a bit of parallel compression. So let's do that. And I'll add it in slowly so you can hear what it's actually doing. So it just adds that much more attack, that much more punch to the entire drum sound. So if we want to add even more width to this particular sound. That's where the other reverb comes in. So I'll bring it in slowly, just so you guys can hear what I'm trying to do here. And you'll see, or basically you will hear how it expands, or it sort of brightens the drum sound, but it also adds another dimension of width. Exaggerated. Off. On. Okay, I hope this gives you an idea of what I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to have more options available to me. And what I also do is I put this spank reverb on a mute group, so I can basically quickly just mute and unmute during the show. The purpose of this is if I want to get to a particular section of the song that I want to expand a bit, I can just, unmute this reverb and the drum sound will get larger. And then when we get out of this either chorus or a halftime part or whatever it is, I can just quickly mute it, go back to sort of collapse the drum sound a bit, and that just adds the dynamics to the entire show that is going on very quickly, very efficiently when you're using parallel drum compression. I hope this video inspired you to do some parallel compression on drums on your own, and let me know in the comments below how you approach using effects in this scenario. This was it for this episode. Like, share, and subscribe, and while you're doing that, make sure that you check out gainmedialab.com for more audio deliciousness. Until next time, take care, mix great shows. Bye.